Mother my precious.
Mother he's got my cheeseburger.
What the fuck? Babe? Oh. Is this about the air guitar thing?
No, this is not about the air guitar thing. Also, I am not your baby.
Oh, okay, so who are you?
I am the goddess of the apocalypse. I am lumberjack sexual.
Okay, so goddess of the apocalypse. Got
Did
it.
you just assume my gender?
No, wait, no. What? No, I'm sorry.
For crimes against your apocalyptic brethren, you shall pay.
Okay, all right. Anything. Just tell me what I have to do.
I don't know. We'll get some firewood.
Oh God. What the f? Hello YouTube, it is Chris here, and in today's episode we're going to be discussing my favorite Swedish axes. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new episodes or our daily giveaways. Additionally, make sure you hit that notification button so you don't miss anything. Also, we have a new round of our Amazon gift card giveaways, and to enter you need to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. We also pick winners in the very next episode, so if you enter on this particular giveaway, you'll find out who the winner is on the very next episode. For those of you who follow us on social media regularly, you've seen these axes quite a bit on Instagram, Facebook, and here on the channel. Now, you're going to see a lot of axes cross this video today in general, like you saw in the thumbnail. However, with that said, I want to just get it out there. These are my two favorites. A lot of people were shoving Granfors down my throat. And then there was kind of like the independent political party of the axe world out there saying, Wetterlings! Go check out Wetterlings! But then through some additional research, I found Hults Bruk was actually kind of like the grandfather. They were the original Swedish axe company, so I decided to give them a whirl first. And after being able to use them and seeing how sharp these are out of the box, how well the handles are made, the way the balance and the weight works, the really nice construction on the sheaths, and just how everything fit and was worked perfectly right out of the box, I decided to kind of use these as a benchmark, kind of my gold standard for axes. And for those of you who are new to axes, have never seen axes like this before, these are kind of expensive to some people. These are about $130 to $140 axes. Now, right off the rip, there's going to be people jump down in the comments like, $140 for an axe? That's crazy! But I'm about to make an argument for you. And that argument is my everyday carry. My everyday carry is full of gear. You guys have seen multi-tools, knives, everything. Why is it okay to spend that much money on a folding knife? Now, keep in mind, I'm not justifying it. I love my knives. Do not get it twisted. Do not jump in the comments and say I dislike knives. That is not true! So, you know, this is my 560 Freak. We've got my SR1 by Cold Steel. For my friends over at Scallywag Tactical, we've got the Privateer. We've got the Toro by Kaiser, which is a beautiful, beautiful freaking knife. And then to take it just a little bit further for the big knife freaks out there, we've got my large Espada by Cold Steel. Now, with that said, you see these knives out here, and this is just a small sampling of my collection. But I know a lot of you out there do own knives like this or these exact models. I know you know what I'm about to say. All of these cost 140 bucks or more. All of them. So my argument is, why am I willing to invest this much money into a folding knife that sits in my pocket that's light duty? It doesn't do any hardcore task for me whatsoever. But when it comes to a tool that could build me a shelter, that can give me sustainable fire, that is actually made and designed and hand forged and designed to last for 15 to 20 years, why would I not be willing to spend over 100 bucks on it? So in case you're wondering, that's where my justification comes from. Now, to further compound upon this argument, I do know there's some pretty good budget options out there, but for me, like I said, gold standard. So this is the L mic. I like this as a 16-inch handle. We have a 500-gram head, which is just a little bit over 1 pound. As you guys saw in a previous video, this thing did a lot of freaking work for its very small size. And the biggest winning factor for this is the fact that it fits on my bug out roll. And it's one of the only axes that I really like to use that does fit on my bug out roll just fine. Because if I choose to take that bug out roll camping or I need to bug out, I want a tool that can fit in there but still get a lot of work done. Not to mention, the leather sheath is fantastic. It covers almost the entirety of the head when it's on, but that welt in the center provides a lot of protection to protect the edge from the rivets that are on this sheath to kind of keep everything closed up. Not to mention, it actually has a belt loop, so I could belt carry this if I wanted to. Next is the Annabee. This is my girl. This is Annabee. She's amazing. This has an 850-gram head, or a 1 3/4 pound head on it. We have a 20-inch handle. So as far as I'm concerned, this is the small forest axe from Granfors Brooks, and essentially because the Annabee was created first, the Granfors actually got its copyright. I know a lot of people going to piss that off, but it's true. So this is the slightly bigger axe that will get a lot of jobs done. Now, why is that? I would say my overall favorite, period. Because of the fact it has a slightly heavier head. It's got a longer handle, so I'm going to be able to hit harder. I'm going to have more leverage and get bigger jobs done very efficiently. However, the winning bonus is for my bug out bag. It fits in my bug out bag, and that is the overall winner. I can keep that completely hidden and concealed. I can slip my bug out roll inside, minus the owl mic, and just put this on the outside, slip it into the main compartment, and it fits in there beautifully. Now, although these axes have actually seen quite a bit of use, you could probably still see the remnants of the mirror polish that these edges did come with. And I'm going to show you an unused one so you can see the edge in full glory. But these edges is by far, in my opinion, bar none. Now, I wouldn't be a proper gear review channel if I didn't give you some different sizes and some different price range options. So for those of you who either don't have a lot of money, don't put massive value in your axes, or at any rate are looking for something a little bit smaller and lighter weight and just overall packability of the nth degree, these are my kind of options for you. So this is the Off-Grid Tool Survival Axe Elite. This is the upgraded version. You guys have seen, like thousands of you have seen that video. And this is kind of a really cool multi-tool because it allows you to have 30 tools in one. And for a bug out situation, if you don't put a high value in hatchets or axes, I tell you to consider and look up this one. Due to the fact it's like 60, 70 bucks, it's definitely worth a look. We have a small folding saw, we have a little bit of hatchet, we have a hammer. You've got a lot of cool options. So let's say traditional hickory and really nice ash woods are just not your thing. You like the modern materials, you like to dive into the new technology. So we'll play that game. And this is the Schrade SCX2. This is the new and improved version. As you can see, I can speak with some experience as this axe is seeing a lot of use. And for the budget option, this thing does work and gets the job done. Let me tell you what. The polymer handle works really well. There's very minimal shock. It has a pretty decent fire seal that's built into the handle. But this axe head does do a lot of work. Now, it's not very sharp. But because of the way the axe head works and how everything functions, it will do some splitting jobs pretty easily, but it's kind of a pain in the butt because that 3CR13, you have to sharpen it a lot. That is my biggest gripe with this particular axe. I've had to sharpen it like 5 times as often as I've had to sharpen any of the other axes. Now, jumping into this is the Jonah Curve by Hults Bruk, but this little thing is adorable. And when I first got it in my hand, I was like, this is gonna be useless. But not really. It's a 500-gram head. It's a pretty heavy head. So if you're trying to do some small chopping tasks, you don't really need an axe, but you do want a chopper, and all you have is a small kind of a bushcraft knife. Something like this would work. But for me, personally, my personal opinion is I would take the owl mic because it's a little bit longer. I can actually do a little bit more versatile work with it, and the weight difference is very minimal. We did a weight check on them, and I think the actual difference is like 4 to 4.5 ounces. So, full-size axes. You guys saw them in the thumbnail. I had to show them. So these are what I call my full-size, the felling axes. These have a 26-inch handle. They roughly have a 1 3/4 to 2 pound head on them. These things will drop some trees for you. Not massive like sequoias and redwoods, but they'll fell some trees. So first option, we're gonna go budget friendly. This is the Trail Boss. I know like loads of you guys have this one. This is a new acquisition, but I gotta say for 27 bucks, I'm actually massively impressed. This is one of the new offerings I do own. It's got a decent hickory handle. We got a pretty good head. The actual blade is a little bit longer than I expected, but it's still not bad. The fit on it is really, really nice. But a couple things I would do is definitely take the varnish off of the handle, and then I would linseed oil it to do some protecting. And me personally, I will probably torch it aesthetically like I've done with all the other axes you've seen. But I've got to say, for 27 bucks, first impressions, I'm impressed. And if you don't consider axes, you don't want to invest a lot of money, it's just not your personal preference, and I respect that. I understand, I just disagree with you, and there's a difference there, is I would say go with the Trail Boss. If you put a little bit more value in an axe, this is my next recommendation. This is the Husqvarna Forest Axe, and it's a 26-inch handle. This is actually made by Hults Bruk in Sweden, but you'll notice a slight difference of the quality on the head, and I'll do a side-by-side comparison that I'll overlay here in a second. But the grind is a little bit different, the edge is a little bit rougher, and a close-up shot we're going to do is you'll see there's a couple nicks in the blade. Now it does come decently sharp. We have a 1 3/4 pound head, and it does fit really, really well. We've got a nice hickory handle on it. The actual grain structure on the back end is pretty freaking nice. This will do some work for you. This is probably my #1 recommendation. My biggest gripe with it though is the sheath. Dear God, get a custom sheath, and this is why. There is no welt in the center of this, and there's no protection for that edge to the rivets. So you can experience some blade damage, and that is what I was trying to show you early in the overlay footage. There were some nicks that came straight from the factory. And last but not least is the Kisa. This is a bad girl right here. We have an 850 gram head on this bad boy. Nice mirror polished edge. Oh, it's beautiful. And this thing is razor freaking sharp, and I'll show you that, guys, right now. I have never touched this edge up. Yeah! If you ever hear any rubbish from companies saying, well, this has the utility edge. What the hell is the utility edge? You mean blunt? That's why I disagree with their attitude towards actually keeping an axe sharp. And I think that's where some of the disrespect for a quality made axe has come from, is the fact that cheaper companies that don't put a lot of quality and effort into the performance of their axes straight out of the box, there's a lot of work that has to be done with them. So for me, these come as an axe should. They come with nice handles, they come well fitted, they come sharp, polished, and ready to go right out of the box. They are ready to go. And that's how tools, when you buy them from any company, whether it's a folding knife, it's a folding saw, you've got a machete, you have a normal fixed blade, or you have an axe, tools like that should perform from a factory or a maker straight out of the box. The winner of yesterday's Amazon gift card giveaway is Chad Deans. Congratulations, Chad Deans, you are the winner. So definitely contact us on the back end of our channel so we can get your contact details. In conclusion, these are all my favorite axes from all sizes and budget categories. However, like I said, my favorite overall axes are the Hults Bruk series, the Almike, and the Anabi. I'm basing opinions and how I personally feel based off ownership of multiple different brands, sizes, different materials. And at the end of the day, I would rather just have a higher quality steel, higher quality materials, and a company who pays attention to the overall aesthetics, fit and finish, and right out of the box functionality than having to do a crap ton of work before I can take it out and use a tool effectively. But that just about does it for now. And if you enjoyed the full discussion talking points of my favorite axes, give this video a big thumbs up and share this out with your friends and family in your social media networks so we can keep growing, thriving, and making awesome videos for you guys. But that just about does it for now. Hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.
#beard problems.